Welcome to Illuminati Silver. We tell you the truth about silver. Today is Monday the 25th of October 2021. And we're producing our Monday morning gold and silver price update, forecast and daily news. This morning we can see gold and silver prices furthering their rise. But we have to ask for how long, as the FED Tapering Decision is just 9 days away. Welcome to Illuminati Silver. It's Monday, the 25th of October 2021 at 09:58 a.m. GMT plus 1. Weather outside today? Threatening. Yes, it's slightly raining with quite substantial cumulus nimbus clouds, 3/4 covering the sky, and then some thin strata clouds with a little bit of sunshine trying to eke its way through. So the weather is threatening water disaster, but there's a glimmer of hope, which is more than can be said for the lira. As we can see, the lira drops to record after Erdogan's threat against envoys. So what's happening with this Turkish currency? Turkey's lira fell to a record as the country's latest diplomatic spat with the United States and other foreign governments gave traders another reason to sell the struggling currency. The lira retreated as much as 2.5% in early Asian trading amid thin liquidity on Monday, touching a new low for a third day. It was 1.5% weaker at 9.75 per dollar in Istanbul this morning. Already under pressure following a larger than expected rate cut last week, the currency encountered fresh selling after President Recep Tayyip Erdogan said on Saturday that the ambassadors of 10 nations were no longer welcome after they demanded the release of a prominent government critic. Investors are watching for the Turkish Foreign Ministry to make the move official. The possible persona non grata declaration compounds the increasingly acute economic challenges facing the country. Lower investor confidence could spur precipitous and disorderly lira depreciation. I wonder if George Soros has taken out some puts there. We also have not good news for German business, and Germany is the powerhouse of Europe now. German business confidence tumbles to 6-month low on supplies. German business confidence took another hit in October as global supply logjams damp momentum in the manufacturing-heavy economy. A gauge compiled by the Munich-based IFO Institute dropped for a fourth time in a row, and more than economists predicted. It's at its lowest level in 6 months. The figures point to the mounting challenges facing German businesses, who are particularly exposed to supply disruptions given the nation's reliance on industry. So you see, our supply shortages are not just affecting one or two countries. It's affecting a large part of the Western and Eastern world. China has its own problems. According to the headlines, it expects new COVID outbreak to worsen in coming days. China's new COVID-19 infections will increase in coming days, and the areas affected by the epidemic may continue to expand, a health official said. The wave of infections spread to 11 provinces. Some cities in the provinces of Gansu, including its capital Landshut, and Inner Mongolia have halted bus and taxi services because of the virus. Egina, a county in the west part of Inner Mongolia, asked all residents and travellers to stay indoors starting Monday to contain the spread. So you can see what's going to happen to their economy with this occurring. But good news for HSBC. It backs China's property worries with a 74% profit jump. $2 billion buyback. HSBC Holdings reported a surprise 74% rise in third quarter profit, as it shrugged off concerns about pandemic-related bad loans and property problems in its key market of China. Now, just a little sort of tip for anyone looking at equity investments. Generally speaking, traditionally, when interest rates are low, banks make less money. So their shares, in the main, tend to fall. When interest rates rise, banks make more money, even though perhaps the amount of lending reduces and the prospect of bad loans increase. Nevertheless, their equity prices tend to rise. So the very fact that we are seeing major banks making fortunes at the current level, a lot of it is to do with their investment trading arms and other activities, not traditional branch banking. BBC News. What do you want from the budget? We ask 6 people across the UK what they would like to see from Rishi Sunak's budget. Not sure if that young lady is typical of the majority of people in the UK. Bank snubbed in TSB takeover approach. Apparently, TSB were looking to take over the Co-op Bank, or at least so the Co-op Bank thought. These are 2 moderately sized banks in the United Kingdom. Both of them, to some degree, not in full fitness of health. US and Canada news. Colombian drug lord to be sent to the United States after capture, and Michael Jordan's trainers sell for a record $1.47 million. Perhaps the more important news here is, could China's hypersonic missile spark a new arms race? Let's have a look. What's happening to the race of the dollar? Well, it's marginally down at 93.55. Energy prices marginally up, as one would normally expect if the dollar falls, with WTI crude up 90 cents and Brent crude up 84. Stocks, we covered in our weekly update what happened to the American market last week. For the week, all indices were up, but slightly varied on Friday. Asia Pacific, the Nikkei is down, and the Topix index is down, but the Hang Seng is marginally up. Nothing really great to speak of. And Europe and the UK, yes, just into positive territory, with the UK perhaps outshining them at a 0.5% increase. Now, we mentioned on the weekend update, there's no US data scheduled for today. So what's happening to the gold price? Well, it's up. Now, if we recall, on Friday, we saw quite a significant rise in gold and then a fall off in the latter half of Friday after Jerome Powell suggested the prospect of tapering announcements on the 3rd of November. Well, it's shrugged that off a little bit, and it's now gone above that key level of $1,800 and is currently standing at 1801. So it's a great start. Silver also up 9 cents at 24.45. We've given our predictions for this week, so do tune in to that update. Cryptocurrencies also rising this morning, with Bitcoin up 3% at $62,800, and the market cap now up 2.5% at 2.6 trillion. We predicted 2.5 by the end of the month. That's now been surpassed. We shall see how high it goes. Now, just a quick shout out. Yesterday we produced a video, Gold and Silver's price rise blocked by Fed Tapering Outlook. Do take a look at that. We've put a link to that in the description box below. We've already given our forecast for this week. We suspect there'll be some positive momentum in gold and silver for a couple of days until we start to approach the 3rd of November. And then we shall see to what extent traders will have factored in any bond buying tapering in advance of that announcement. But what is becoming quite apparent across the world is that not only is inflation not transitory, but it appears to be increasing, and especially with the gas crisis going on, that problem is going to be further exacerbated. Let's wait and see what happens. Meanwhile, thank you for listening. Please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, press the bell sign. Have a great Monday. Illuminati Silver owners come from a background of banking, international wealth management and economics. Having now retired from these worlds, we are not qualified to give investment advice. Therefore, this and other productions must not be deemed to be giving such advice and merely represent the personal views of its owners.